Morning.
Good morning. We got Fred here again today, and we're hiring him for his services. It worked out so well before. And today he's going to take us to, would you call it the section of Belem, or
It's
the town?
No, it's part of Lisbon. It's a neighborhood called Belem.
Right.
It used to be, a long time ago was in Lisbon, but later Lisbon grew to there.
Right. So it's a section of Lisbon.
Yeah, it's a section.
And
It's another neighborhood.
And here we go. Town square.
Yeah.
Like old carriage museum.
Fred says that this is the president's house, equivalent to the White House, right up here. The pink house. Lots of fruit trees. Yeah, I did.
Like they do in London.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. In London, they really can't move. But
This is quite impressive.
yeah, but the surrounding monarchy, you gotta go inside of it.
Okay. Bringing us into Pastéis de Belem, which was originally one of the original pastry shops in Belem, and very, very famous for their custard tart. And we're going to go in and have one. Okay, so we're each going to have one this morning. I guess they sell a lot of pork here too.
Es lo típico tradicional. Gracias.
This is what they look like.
Olá, bom dia. São 3 pastéis, por favor.
Quero saquinho? Ou não é
Não, não é preciso saco, não é preciso saco.
And there they are.
She doesn't want to be on video. Pra quem?
And we got the cinnamon. He goes, the proper way to eat these is with cinnamon.
Just sit on the tuk and it's easy to do.
Now this is the way that you eat these. You come to Portugal, you come to Lisbon, you have to go to that pastry shop because it's iconic. Cheers. Really good. Warm, custard, delicious.
I like the other one better.
Me too.
We're comparing it to, what's the name of the other place in Lisbon?
Manteigueria.
Potateria. And Jeannie and I had them there too, and they are actually delicious also.
These are good.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are more creamy.
So, this is the monastery of Jerónimos. It was ordered to be built in 1498, on the year that Portugal arrived in India by boat, which was a great achievement for the country. Before there was a monastery here, there was a little chapel that all the navigators would come here and pray for good luck on their travels. And so after we arrived in India, this monastery started to be built. And it's one of the greatest monuments of Portugal. If it's not the most important one, it's one of the most important ones. Its style of construction, it's a Portuguese style that you only find in Portugal. It's called the Manueline style, which is late Gothic, but with a lot more ornamented. And the main part of the ornaments are things from the sea, shells, the ropes of the ships, coral, and so that's what represents the Manueline style.
The carving is just incredible, intricate. Probably some of the most incredible carving I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot.
What is this, a church?
It's a church, yeah. Be a monastery. Today it's not a monastery because monasteries are not working, but it's a church. It still operates as a
It's
church.
huge.
It is huge.
The thing is, the one that was started to be built in the 15th century ended at the entrance.
Uh-huh.
At this entrance. The rest of it was built in the 19th century.
So from here to there?
From here to there, 19th century. From here to there, end of the 15th century.
You can see by the brick. That's definitely older over here. I can't even capture the whole thing. It's so...
Okay, so Fred's saying that from here to there is 19th century built. From here to here is all 15th century built.
It's closed on Monday.
Closed on Monday. Okay, so there you have it.
We ask you.
All the restaurants are closed on Saturdays and Sundays, and historic sites like this are closed on Mondays. So since we can't go in, we're going to cross the street and put the drone up. And this looks like a really nice place to do it. Is this a fountain right here?
Yeah.
But it's just not running right now?
Yeah, maybe it's also closed on Monday. This is called the Empire Square.
Uh-huh.
It was made in 1940 for the Portuguese World Expo. That didn't happen because of the Second World War, and the expo was created for the rest of the world to not think that we had colonies. Instead we had ultra maritime provinces, because people were telling Portugal that we couldn't have colonies, we couldn't still have colonies, and
Right.
Salazar didn't agree with it, and so this square was made for that World Expo. The Padrão dos Descobrimentos was also made for the World Expo. There's some things around Belem.
We'll be able to get the drone over there as well.
We're gonna go there with the tuk.
Okay. Fred says that this is the Belem Tower.
Look at that view.
It is indeed amazing. So Fred, what can you tell us about the Tower of Belem?
Belem Tower was built in the end of the 15th. Was started to be built in the end of the 15th century to protect Lisbon from pirate attacks or invasions
Of any invader?
of any invader. Yeah, and the only time they had to protect us from proper invader, it didn't work very well because the French were able to enter the river, but it was a way to make ships fear of entering here. There was cannons all around that yard.
Still in great shape.
And when was it built? In the 15th century?
Yeah, end of the 15th century.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's in the same style as the monastery.
Right.
Before the earthquake, the tower was really in the middle of the river because the beach was much further there.
Okay. And it's closed now because of C-19. You can't go in, but Fred says that even if you could go in, it's very, very small inside and very, very dark because there's no windows really.
Yeah, it's much more. It's beautiful is from the inside. From the outside, the inside is not that amazing.
Right.
This is Padrão dos Descobrimentos. It's a monument to celebrate the Portuguese discoveries, the travels that we did all around the world. And on the statues, all the statues are the important people that made it possible. Missionaries, navigators. In the front there's Dom Henrique, which was the brother of the king, the guy that had the idea of traveling more and go furthermore.
Why are they lined up at the door?
To get inside.
Is it a museum or something?
It's a museum.
Ah, but it's not like you go up to the top or anything.
No. And it was built for the 1940 World Exhibition.
Also built for the World's Fair.
Yeah. The mother of the king, she was the one that's supposed to give the idea to the brother of the king, to her son, and then the one that got all the praise to do it was Dom Henrique.
Looks like the whole world here.
In our country. Up here. Up here is Maine. And it's the same size.
Portuguese were. In the beginning of the 15th century, we decided that this small rectangle at the end of Europe was not enough for us, so we went to go for Silva here, and then we thought we wanted more, so we started going down, but this was the end of the world. There's a cape around here that goes deep in the ocean, so we couldn't sail along the coast, and they didn't know how to sail along the coast.
Because you'd fall off.
Yeah, you'd fall off. And a few years before 1934, we decided to create the first Navy school of the world, with the ships, the sailors, the navigators, and with this we managed to sail along the coast. That found Açores and Madeira. They're still part of Portugal, they're two archipelagos. In 1434 we passed to the other side, and then we started to try to reach India. It was not easy, it's a really hard place to reach.
Well, you had to sail around the Cape of Africa.
Yes. Then we found Cape Verde, kept going all down, and where you see all of these dates, there were Portuguese settlements. In the beginning we didn't do colonies, we built the settlement to then go further after for another settlement, so everywhere was a Portuguese settlement. Then in 1488 we managed to pass to the other side of Africa, but they went back. They didn't start going to India.
Right.
And then in 1498 the travel of Vasco da Gama, he managed to pass to the other side of Africa. He reached this place called Natal. It's in Namibia, exactly on the Christmas morning. And here he met an Arab navigator that took him all the way along the coast to reach Calcutta. That's when we arrived in India.
So the Arab navigator knew where India was,
Yes.
so they hooked up together and
Yes, there was already Arabic
Right.
travels around
Right.
the Indian Ocean, not
Right.
to the Atlantic, but in the Indian Ocean, they already knew exactly
so
where to
they
go.
swapped information.
Exactly. And then we arrived in India. Then Vasco da Gama went back to Portugal. This travel would take 1 year to arrive, 1 year to come back,
Right.
more or less. On the next travel to India, we made a mistake. Found Brazil, and we divided the world in two. Everything from one line, from that line to the west was Spain to discover. Everything to the east was Portugal to discover. So the Portuguese Empire ended exactly here. And this was for Spain.
Timor.
Timor was the last point of the Portuguese Empire. So the Portuguese Empire went from Timor all along Asia, Africa, and Portugal. It didn't last it forever, of course, but for a while we had the first world empire, and we started something called globalization. People must have heard about. Great times of Portugal.
This pretty much wraps up our Belem tour for today as we head back towards the apartment.